Hey guys, it's Fish, and I'm back with another episode of Fish Teachers. Now, I had a lot of criticisms about Fish Teachers episode 2, just about the update dropping and the fact that the fragments will be moving. I did put an annotation at the start of the video that when the fragments do move, I will make a Fish Teachers that will update that video. The annotation will then point to that new video, and there'll be an annotation on the entirety of that old video that says this information is now not current, because fragments in the new update are moving to be in Rex only, and there's going to be something like 24 Rex spread out throughout the map, and my next one will just be you guys being shown where the Rex are and what you can find in those Rex. So that'll be the future of Fish Teachers in regards to that episode and the fragment location. So if you've got concerns about that, I think I've been pretty upfront about it. So and any questions you've got, I think I've answered in the comment section below or in the forum that I posted the video. So if you do have other concerns, please consider my door open and just post a question, and I'm more than happy to either answer the question, or if I don't know, I'll look it up. So this Fish Teachers is going to be a little bit different. Well, no, not really. It's going to be about the same. It's going to be on the location of resources. Some of them is going to have some overlap from the first Fish Teachers, in that that was a how to start in Subnautica deal with, when you first get in, what do you need to focus on and what do you need to ignore? And some of that stuff is going to be the same in this one, but I'm going to show you where you can find certain resources. So I'm going to go out, I am going to find resources, and it's not just going to be, things like titanium and copper and gold and all that sort of stuff. It's going to come down to, fish and all that kind of stuff, values of the fish, what they're worth, cooked, salted, and raw for food and that kind of stuff. So hopefully it'll be really, really helpful for a player who's sort of in the mid-range and is starting to get to the point where, I need to build a Cyclops, but where do I find lithium? I have stupid amounts of lithium because I know where to go. So I'm going to take you on an adventure, and I'm going to show you where to find those rarer resources. So hopefully this is going to be helpful. If it is, comment section down below, let me know. Thumbs up section, the thumbs up down below as well. Love that. Really, really helps the channel, but it also lets me know that this is a series that you are interested in. But let me make a cut here, and I'll bring you back when I have some resources and locations to show you. Alright guys, I'll see you soon. Alright guys, I'm back and I've started a new game. The reason I've started a new game is so that my old game, the resources that I've picked up in that game don't influence the decisions that you make to go looking for items or resources. Those resources are going to be tough to find in my game, just because I have pretty much mined out most of what's around my escape pod. So it doesn't look like at this stage resources respawn. Now I know it is on the roadmap for something for them to fix and add, spawning nodes and fish and all kinds of stuff. But at this stage, and at the time of recording, that does not occur. So I've started a new game to make sure that when I find something, there's a good chance that you will find something in there. And I don't tell you, there's no titanium or no metal scraps hanging around the starter zone, and then you find out there's stuff everywhere. Alright guys, I'm going to jump out. I'm going to go and find the first resource that we're going to talk about, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready, or when I found something. I'll see you soon. Alright guys, the first resource that we're coming along to is titanium. Now there's 3 ways you can get titanium. The first is from the metal salvage from the Aurora's crash. As you can see, I've got 2 right next door to me, and they do take up a lot of room in your inventory, 4 slots. But on the upside, when you break it down in the fabricator, which I will show you shortly, you're going to get 4 pieces of titanium. So there's no real net loss on that. So we'll come into our life pod here, We'll go to our fabricator, resources, basic materials, and as you can see, I can make 4 titaniums from a piece of metal salvage. And because I picked up 2 of them, I can now make 8 pieces of titanium. Looking at my inventory, it's now turned into 8 pieces of titanium, and a little bit easier to manage just because it's not 4 big slots, it's just a single pieces of titanium. And titanium is probably the main, well, as it says, basic building block of this game. You can use it to build just about everything. So I can't think of too many things in this game that are not going to require titanium. Alright guys, I'll bring you back. Well, when we do our special on the actual limestone deposits that we find around, I'll show you the next piece. Or the next place you can find titanium. See you soon. Guys, here we are, and the game was even telling us that there is some limestone right here for us to break. So you don't need a weapon, you don't need anything for this, you just go up to it, you click on it a couple of times, and you're going to get either a piece of titanium or a piece of copper. Now, I'm bringing up a map of the places that you will find limestone deposits. Now, I didn't show you a map of where you can find the Aurora's fragments, because it looks to be the entirety of the map that you will find the fragments of the Aurora's hull. So you go just about anywhere on this map and you're going to find titanium or metal scrap that you can turn to titanium. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I have the third way of making titanium. See you soon. Guys, I thought I'd bring you back and show you another limestone outcrop with a piece of copper coming out. And there we go, we've now picked up a piece of copper. Now I'm going to use this to craft an item that's going to allow me to get the third way of bringing out titanium ore. Alright guys, I'll see you soon. Guys, and the third and final way that you can get titanium in this game, and it's a little bit desperate, but in a pinch it can be done. You just need to have a fragment of a pattern that you already picked up. So I've gone around and I've picked up 3 sea moth fragments to get myself the pattern. So I'll be making that soon just to help me make this video a little bit easier. But if you already have the pattern and you use a scanner, which you can pretty easily build with a battery and 2 pieces of titanium, and the battery is pretty easy, it's just 1 piece of copper and 2 pieces of acid mushrooms, which
Emergency. 10 seconds of oxygen.
Actually, I can show you the acid mushroom right now. That's it. You just click on the mushrooms and they're pretty abundant. And so that's your battery. You need to make the scanner and then you just scan. And if you already have the pattern, you can get 2 pieces of titanium for that. It's, as I said, you got to be pretty desperate to need to do that, but in a pinch, it will do. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I have the next resource to show you. See you soon. Guys, next resource that we're going to talk about is quartz. Quartz is really, really useful. It's going to make you glass, and when you make glass, you're going to be able to make things like the hatch to get into bases when you start doing base building. It's going to make the shield that's on your sea moth, one of the submersibles that you can make, and same with the Cyclops as well. So a very, very useful resource. And one tip that I will give you for finding it, and this is almost perfect for us, at night time, you're going to find quartz really, really easy to find because it glows in the dark. Not so easy to see now, but that's pretty much what it looks like. Just a big crystalline protrusion from the seafloor. And I'm bringing up the map now where you'll find quartz and just about everywhere. So don't worry too much about quartz. It's a pretty common resource, but it's also a resource you need a lot of. So as you can see, the ground does not illuminate, but the quartz does a little bit, and that's going to help you find quartz at night time. So I would recommend looking for quartz at night time. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when we've got another resource to talk about. Alright guys, so something you're going to find in a lot of places, and I'm bringing up the map now of places that you will find this resource. Now this is salt. Salt's pretty useful for making water. So you can make bleach with salt and a coral sample, and then that will then decontaminate your water for you. There are easier ways to do it. You can take the air sacs and turn them into water as well, but for the moment, salt, well, thank you game, salt is going to be found almost everywhere, as you could see on that map that I previously linked. Alright guys, I'll continue off and I will show you the next resource that we're going to talk about. Alright guys, on to water. So with the water, you've got a couple of options, and I did talk about some when I picked up the salt. We can make a version of bleach, which will then decontaminate our water, and I'll show you how to do that. But firstly, I thought I would just show you the simplest way to get water. These guys. Air sacs, they don't really move, they're not really scared of you. You just come up, yoink, you grab them with your left click, and then you're good to go. You then take it to your escape pod, because we haven't built a base yet. We go into our water tab of our sustenance and filtered water. It'll make, I picked up 2, so I can make 2 of these, and you'll get 20% out of filtered water. It's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than nothing. Alright guys, I'll bring you back and I'll show you the other way that you can make water using bleach. I'll see you soon. Guys, another resource that you might need is food, especially if you're playing on survival, well, only if you're playing on survival mode or hardcore, because you're going to have a little food counter down the bottom there, the green one, and it's going to slowly tick down as you don't have food. So in this aquarium here, I've put a selection of my favourite fish that I like to look for when I am out and about. Now, fish are everywhere. Some of them are not found in certain areas, but overall you're going to find fish everywhere. These are the 4 main ones that I like because they provide the best value, food and water values when cooked. So peepers, boomerangs, eye-eyes, and regionals. Regionals are amazing. 25, and when you cook it up, that water loss goes to, I think you get 3 water or something like that. I am putting right now a little guide to all the edible fish and what you will get from them, eating them raw, eating them cooked, and eating them cured. Now, the difference between cooked and cured is that you're going to need salt, and what that's going to do is you can cure food and it's not going to decompose on you. If you cook a fish, it's going to start to decompose after about 2 minutes, and slowly but surely you'll get less and less nutrients from it until eventually you'll just lose nutrients and it just makes you sick. Surprise, surprise, eating dead fish or decomposing fish is not good for you. My recommendation, instead of cooking, only cook what you need. Instead of cooking everything, just cook what you need. Occasionally cure if you're going on a long one, noting that if you cure food, you're going to cop a far greater water hit. So you're going to want to make sure you carry extra water if you're going to be eating cured food. Just carry the fish on their own on your person. I mean, I've stored the fish in this locker for, I don't know, an hour, and nothing's happened. They don't mind. They don't mind just sitting in a locker all day. It's a bit of a quirk of the game, but exploit it while you can. Alright guys, hopefully that's helped you with your food needs. I'll bring you back when I've got another resource to show you. Okay, see you soon. Before we can make water using the alternate method that I talked about, we're going to have to come over to one of these kelp forests and we're going to have to collect these creepvine seed clusters. Now we're full. And it's dangerous. It's a dangerous place because of these stalkers, but they won't venture very far away from the kelp forests, so you don't have to worry about them too much. There's one over there. That's probably about as far as I've seen them go out. And overall, they're normally pretty easy to dodge as long as you stay close to the surface, because they won't go to the surface. Now on the upside, no, I don't have any med packs. We go back to our trusty fabricator And just note, guys, you're going to need a lot of room in your inventory for these seed clusters because they do take up 4 inventory slots each. Now we go up into our escape pod, resources, basic materials, and you're going to want to make silicone rubber. Now on the upside, 2 pieces of creepvine seed cluster makes 1 piece of silicone rubber, and that silicone rubber only takes up 1 spot in your inventory. Oh, I can make a 3rd one. Well, why don't we just do that? That only takes up 1 slot in your inventory, so that's always useful. And then I'm going to want to make a knife, a survival knife. And you're going to need a piece of titanium and a piece of silicone rubber for that. Now that we have a knife, just clicking the hotkey that it is attached to on the bottom bar that you can see. And what you want to go out and do is collect coral samples. Now the red coral sample, or the table coral sample, is not the one that we're looking for water, but I thought I should just show you the collection of that. If you just right click, that will use your knife, and you can just cut the sample up. Now you can cut these giant coral tubes and get yourself as much common coral sample as you need. And the beauty of the common coral sample is it is the one that you need to make bleach. Okay? So if we come in here, basic materials, a piece of salt and a piece of common coral sample will equate to a bleach item. Now what this bleach will do is allow me to go into my water tab under the sustenance and create disinfected water. Now the benefit of disinfected water over the other type of water that we made before is that you get 40 water from this instead of just 20. So it's a big improvement, but it does take some materials and some time to go and get. But I definitely think it's worth it in the long run. Alright guys, I'm going to have a drink here, get my water up to max, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to show you another item or another resource in this game. I'll see you soon. Alright guys, the next item or resource that you're going to need in the game is you're going to need creepvine samples. So you get your knife. Now that we have a knife, we can actually get them, and you just right click and cut the creepvine or kelp until you're full.
10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Now, one thing to note, just as I'm getting some air here, is that you're going to want to, again, these take up a lot of room. Why they take up so much room, I'm not really sure, but the devs have decided that that's the way they're going to balance the game out. Never used to take up that much, but we're in the world that we're in, and we have to work around that. So it does take up a lot of room, but with this, you can come back to your escape pod, climb up, go to our fabricator here, and we can create fiber mesh. Now fiber mesh is going to be important to you for a couple of reasons. Mostly to build the suits. Well, you need synthetic fiber for the reinforced one, but the radiation suit, that's something you're going to need fairly early on, once you can get some lead plates, just so that you can get closer to the aurora, because the radiation zone around the aurora is actually quite large, and if you go into it, you will slowly tick down until you die. Your still suit, which is very, very important, what it'll do is it'll reclaim moisture, and I will make one eventually and show you the benefits of that, but that's a bit later on. And first aid kits, so a bit of bleach and a bit of fiber mesh, and you can make a first aid kit. I don't recommend doing that because medical first aid kit fabricator, every 30 minutes it'll make you one, and I think it makes it more often than 30 minutes. That's just what it says. And you can build one of those fairly easily. Alright guys, I'm going to head off. I'm going to go find the next resource that we will talk about, and I'll bring you back when I'm there. See you soon. There's one thing I failed to mention about the creepvine seed clusters is that they can also make lubricant. So 3 of them is going to make 1 lubricant. And it's a very, very important material. It's used in both the submersibles. It's used in the mobile vehicle bay. It's used in the moon pool, which is the structure that you can store one of the smaller submersible in. So it's a very, very useful material. But it's something that's going to take you quite a bit of back and forth to go and get, because as you can see in that, it takes 3 of those, and so that's what, 9 slots each for each piece of lubricant. So it's quite a labor intensive material, but it's a material you're going to need a lot of. So I would recommend collecting as much of that as you can when you are coming back to base with not very much on you. That way you can have some lubricant on you whenever you need it most. Alright guys, I'll go off and I will continue the hunt for more resources. See you soon. Alright guys, so this is probably the hardest resource to deal with, just because you can't just go up and get it. You've actually got to force the defending fish out of its home. So normally you want to go looking for a cave, and it's normally in the starter zone. There we can see him. He's just poked his little head out. If I back off a little bit, he goes away. He stops being worried, but he's got his little eye poking out. So if we come out, and if we get too close, he's going to come at us. That means he's not happy. He's about to do his thing. And we're gone. And he will explode. Now, you've just got to swim away from him the second he comes out, and you can normally just take a little bit of damage. And then you want to pick up the crash powder that's left behind in there. That crash powder is going to help you to make the welder, something that I'm in desperate need of, because I've been really bad, and I have crashed my sea moth. Oh, what are they doing? Just floating around everywhere. I think some of my stuff that I've dropped all my stuff on the ground here because I didn't have enough storage space for it. Yeah, my sea moth, I've been driving around like crazy, and if I get into it, 50% health and not a lot of energy, so I've got to make another energy source for it because I've been looking for the moon pool fragments. Not to toot my own horn, but I have been using my fragment guide, and it's been pretty good. That's why it went off there everywhere. It's been pretty good. It's helped me to find the different fragments. So let's just double check what I need for that. The welder needs magnesium, titanium, and crash powder. I can't remember. What do you need for magnesium? 3 salt deposits. Well, that's pretty easy. I don't think I have them, but it's easy. No, I don't. Anyway, I will go off and I'll grab that stuff and I'll weld up my stuff, but that's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of the video is to show you how to get that. So that's how you get crash powder. You want to go looking in caves for those little crash fish. They'll come out, they'll explode near you. You'll take a little bit of damage, but if you're smart about it, you won't take too much and it won't be too bad for you. You've just got to turn and run as fast as you can. If you've got a sea glide, you normally won't take any damage at all, but I'm not a big fan of the sea glide personally, so but your mileage may vary with it. Alright guys, I'll go off, I'll find the next resource, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready. See you soon. Alright guys, for those of you who are looking for gold and silver early on, you're looking for sandstone outcrops. And we'll open it up, and we've got a piece of silver ore. The other thing that you can get, and I'm hoping that we do in this break. Nope, I'll bring you back when I have another one that'll bring you gold. See you soon. Alright, we've got another one just below me. I'll open it up and we'll see what it gives us. And it gave us a piece of gold. Oh, no, it hasn't given us gold. There we go, and you can get gold from them as well. That's the 2 resources that you can get from the sandstone outcrops. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I've got another resource to show you. Alright guys, the next resource that we've got on our agenda is Basalt Outcrop. Now, I just got some gold from that. That's one possible resource that you can get from it. There's diamond, there's the second. And there is, I think that was uranium. Did I get uranium just there?
Warning, 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
I swear I saw uranium. There it is. Oh, look at that. Oh, I better get back to my ship too.
10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
And I don't know where it is. There it is. So, that's the 3 items. Three basalt outcrops and 3 of the possible, or the only 3 possible resources that you can get out of them. So, Diamond is very, very useful for making your knife stronger. It probably does have other usages, but they elude me a little bit. Gold's used a lot in power, so power transmission nodes, we use gold. And uranium, there is now a power production facility that uses uranium to produce power for your base. So you don't have to worry about building near a hotspot or using the solar. Or having to collect the stuff that you need for the bioreactor. You can just go and grab uranium from the basalt outcrops. So that's basalt outcrop. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I have our next resources. We'll see you soon. Guys, the next resource that we've got in our resource guide is aluminum oxide crystal. It's actually aluminium. The rest of the world says aluminium. I don't know why you would respell it to say aluminum when the rest of the world says aluminium. But anyway, aluminium oxide does not have a current use in the game. So if you see that white crystal there, don't bother picking it up. There is no reason in the current game to get it at all. Maybe one day it will be something that they use, but as yet, no current usage. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I've got another resource to show you. Guys, for those of you who need to know how to run your bioreactor, you need a fungal sample. Hit one of these, pick up what falls down. You just need to come to the mushroom areas, mushroom farm areas. Pretty easy, and you can carry a lot because they only take up one slot each, so plenty of room for you. The only thing that's hard about the bioreactor is the creepvine sample. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I've got something else to show you. See you soon. Alright guys, and the other way that you can get diamonds, so we had our basalt chunks. This is a dangerous area, so I just got to keep an eye out. You got diamond out of your basalt chunks, but you can also find it just free-formed in the locations that I put on the map that has appeared already. So you just doink, and you've got yourself some more diamond. So diamond's not just something you have to go and randomly hope that you get from the basalt. You don't. Ooh, cloudy. You can go and find it in these areas here. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I have another resource to show you. Guys, next resource on the agenda is lithium. Now, lithium's a little purple crystal. You just pick it up, easy as, and you're going to find it in the locations that I've already put up in the video. But lithium is very, very useful. So if you see lithium, pick it up, because it's used in just about everything high level. Bulkheads for your base, the Cyclops uses it. It's used in so many patterns or blueprints that you might as well just pick it up every time you see it. My Cyclops carries an entire storage container full of them because they are that useful. But anyway, okay guys, I will head off, find another resource for you, and I will bring you back when I've got something to show you. See you soon. Okay, for those of you who are up to building your Cyclops, you'll find that you'll need a lot of magnetite. This is what it looks like, and you can just pick it up. It's pretty easy, and you're going to find it quite abundant in the north, but the map has been provided for all the locations according to the wiki at the moment. So there is plenty of magnetite out there. It's just quite a bit out of your way, so you're going to have to go for a bit of a trip, but it's well worth it. The Cyclops not that worth it at the moment, but I think in the coming updates it will, as they're going to make some changes to the way that it's powered, the charging of power cells and things like that. So that's magnetite. Alright, I'll bring you back when I've got the next material. I'll see you soon. He has taken it.
30 seconds of oxygen
And did we
remaining.
get a tooth coming out? No, we didn't. There we go. There's a tooth. So you've just got to do that. Now, it won't happen every time, but it'll happen most times. It did take me quite a few goes at this. I think there is a bit of a cooldown on them for getting the teeth, but that's how you get enameled glass, or the stalker teeth for enameled glass. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I got something else to show you. Okay guys, big shout out to the Subnautica wiki, which I have linked down in the description below for all the information that I've used to create this guide on resources. Have been exceptionally helpful, and you'll find that community is quite active and continues to update the wiki as the game changes with updates. So if you're looking for anything that I haven't covered in this guide, the Subnautica wiki in the description below is a great place to go and check out the information that you need. Alright guys, I'll see you soon. Okay guys, and the final way to get resources in this game, it's not really a way of getting it, it's more of a way of reclaiming it. If you've built something and you're like, oh, it's not a very good building at all, I don't like the way that's placed, I mean there's a big reef in the middle of this building that I've just placed here. You just get your builder out, go up to it, hold E to deconstruct, and you will get every scrap that you ever put into it. So this cost me 6 to build, and I got 6 back. So no matter what you build, and it's the same with any of these buildings. Now you can't do it with your ships or anything like that, but if I pull this out, I can deconstruct this, the water filtration, I can deconstruct the storage, more storage, I can deconstruct the fabricator. It doesn't matter. I can deconstruct my fish tank. So if you're really short of resources and you can't bother going out to get them, just deconstruct some stuff that you don't need anymore. Alright guys. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you found this guide to resources helpful, and if you have, down the bottom below there's a like button that really helps the channel, especially if this is the kind of content that you'd like to see more of. If you enjoyed the Fish Teachers series, or if you enjoy my other playthroughs, Wolf Among Us, Transistor, I almost said Transformers there, Transistor, or my ARC single or multiplayer playthrough, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out the channel, but it also helps you out by making sure that fish gaming videos make it into your YouTube mailbox every single day. You won't miss a single one. Alright guys, I've been Fish. This has been Fish Teachers Subnautica, the Resource Edition, and I'll catch you next time.